evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48's World, where you get all your reality reviews, you get some informative information, you get some public service announcement information, and just plain having fun on my channel. How about that? But anyway, we're gonna go and get to this reunion, this Housewives of uh, Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, and we're just gonna shimmy shake through it because it really wasn't nothing. It gave me nothing. I was truly upset about it because I was like, really? Is that where we're going with all of this? And I was just really upset. I really was. But let's see, can we muster on through it though? So we get there, well, how it comes on, basically. And this is the Real Housewives reunion part one. I don't know why it's going into three separate parts. Maybe it's just they need some more television time because this season was just tomfoolery, pretty much. And I just got tired of it being the Kenya show getting on Kim Fields, type of situation. Because the rest of the stuff was pretty much boring. I didn't really care about Cynthia's eyewear design she was doing with the commercial and stuff. And it just really was a throwback party to how bad she can get Kim to act out of character, is what I pretty much saw. Because, when you're talking about Portia and Phaedra, Phaedra really don't have a storyline since Paulo left. And what can you say about Portia? What can you really say about Sheree? Like, we're still waiting on that mansion, Chateau Sheree, and her what that clothing line she's supposed to have, She by Sheree. That hadn't even transpired or come into fruition. And I'm just, did I leave anybody out? Oh yeah, the one who want to be a housewife, Peter. He going around doing all infidelity type information and trying to repair their relationship, which is a no go. It's gonna be a no go. But this bold and a beautiful. Oh no, see, I did a taping. I'm sorry about that, guys. This reunion thing is gonna be pretty short because I wasn't here for it. Just too much going on. But anyway, the scene is taking place. Again, we're discussing the Real Housewives of Atlanta first take, first part one of the reunion. They're showing everybody pretty much coming into the, what do you call it? I guess the casting room or the background of it all, where they're coming in. They're not dressed, as beautiful as they are displayed on the set, but they're pretty much being prepped. Putting down putting away their clothes that they arrived to the studio in, and they have a little spread in the back for them to eat while they're there prior to taping and this, that, and the other. And then they go into showing them getting ready. Well, pretty much they just really showed Kenya getting her makeup excuse me, makeup done, as well as her hair, and fine up touches of her gown and this, that, and the other. And Andy comes in and peeps at her, making sure she's getting all glammed up or dolled up. And then he could have just been checking to see hell if she was there, because she really wasn't there on the set. Unless she was trying to get Kim Fields together, because she pretty much wasn't touching anybody except for Portia and Kim. And Portia, since the last couple of episodes, she been getting back with Kenya and not withholding any punches, which I was there for. I was there for it, but I really wasn't, here for neither one of them, to tell you the truth. But anyway, it goes in to show they're all on the set, all of them looking pretty. He's just going, Andy is going one by one, introducing them, and getting trying to get some unanswered questions or rumors kind of explained, so it won't be a rumor anymore. To be either truth or not truth. So he goes to Kenya, telling her she looks pretty and this, that, and the other, and he wanted to straighten out the rumor that was going around, was she pregnant or not. So he wanted her to take this opportunity and this platform to say whether yay or nay. Of course, I don't know what was wrong. I'm with everybody else of the reviews that I had seen that had come out before my review, and just it was just live on Twitter. Everybody's that I follow had basically put their 2 cents in of what's going on with her face. It did seem kind of bloated, and then it seemed like it was kind of like dark on some parts of her face. So I'm like, did Matt get did they get to fighting or something? But that was neither here or there. But she said she could not confirm that piece of tea right now. But I'm pretty much, she probably want to sell her story. It's pretty much what it is. Whether it's true that she actually is pregnant by Matt or whoever. I'm hoping it is Matt and she ain't bringing out no secret man on the side or whatever. But she refused. She declined to answer that question. So we're still waiting that bit of tea. And then they move on to Portia. And Andy is saying, she has some new news in her life. Not a man, not another reality show, offer or any other thing other than apprentice, celebrity apprentice that we already knew because they had already exposed that tea. And she had said that it was true. But what he was referring to is her sister Lauren had given birth, and she's now a proud auntie of a little girl. So didn't give us the name, but just a little tidbit there. Then he goes over to Candy. And Candy looks fantastic. Her body looks amazing. But again, she paid for it. She didn't do the hard work. She didn't, diet and exercise. But she even told us that from the last taping of the episode that once the baby comes, she's pretty much going to get her some new boobs. She's going to get her stomach all tapered down, or liposuction, or I don't know what she was gonna do, but it was gonna be flat and it was gonna be on point. And he told her to stand up. She had on this pretty kind of, I don't know what you call it, some kind of green, a mint green, I would think, type of long gown for the occasion. And she looked very nice. Her hair was on point and all of this and the other. And everybody congratulated her and was clapping for her and everything. And Andy even said, you look like a young escape artist, meaning she was a part of a group when she was in her teens as well as early 20s called Escape. And it kind of puts you back in that mind. It didn't put me back in the mind. She just looked good at her age. And I'm not talking about her escape day. She just seems more um, mothery and a nice size. Um, I don't know. She just really looked good for her age, I guess I can say. And it shows in her facial features. Seems like she was glowing. I don't know if that was makeup and happiness or what. I don't know. But like I said, she looked very good. And everybody was, clapping and giving her her kudos and stuff, except for Phaedra. They did a real, what do you call it? Up close and center take on her, the photography man or the film production man, to get her reactions of how everybody was, being overjoyed with Candy's newborn baby and how her body was, snatched within them 6 weeks. Like she ain't had no baby and no ounce of, just flab from her not exercising and keeping her body tight and this, that, and the other. But like I said, she had no secrets for us. She told us already what she was gonna do, and she did, honey. And I'm like, okay, do you, honey? Do you? Cause can't nobody criticize you when you done sat on film and said what you was gonna do, and you was true to your word. Hey, and everybody seems to be, not everybody. Let me go. I ain't generalizing, but the majority of people who are in the eyes of the public, and it is their business to look good most of the time because that's their brand, and they're out amongst colleagues as well as business execs, and they're trying to make other business deals. You have to look a certain way. You have to perceive, uh, give the perception you are this way, and this is where you're gonna look. You have to look professional and nice all the time. And we as just everyday human beings should do so. But if we're not having to be seen in the spotlight, and the cameras are on us all the time, we wouldn't have really any reason. We can have a fall off day, or just a look normal day where you don't have makeup on all the time, or you're not dressed to the nines all the time. You have some time to relax. But when you're in that type of entertainment business and arena, every photo is being taken of you, and you don't even know it's being taken of you. So you want to kind of be conscious of what you look like, who you go around hanging with, because there's always tabloids want to get that next story and get that next comeuppance on you, on your back, and how you present yourself in the world. So I understand that, living in a fishbowl type of mentality, or when you get so far up in society, people tend to not look at you as a human being anymore with feelings. They look at you as, an idol, or someone they want to worship because they want to, be like you, or, have the things that you have in life. But they don't see the side that you had to, what you had to do to get that to that top level of people adoring you all the time and putting you up on, pedestals, and just to that degree. But like I said, Phaedra was like not hearing it. She didn't want all that thunder stole from her, this, that, and the other. She was just feeling very salty, and they had caught it on tape, and wasn't no love lost. And then we went on to Kim Fields, and it was, letting her know, um, you know, seems like she had made it through the first season, and it seems like everything's intact. And he was trying to get a little smart with her to see if he can get a little rise out of her, but she got back with him real quick, fast, in a hurry. So he said, "Okay, yes, you are a housewife," because she had a little, little catness to her. So it was funny. But then they, those are pretty much the people that he go in on. He didn't really have too much to say about Sheree, but because she's really a guest, she wants her peach back. And at the turn of events towards the end of the reunion, you can see pretty much that she may get her peach back, because all of them pretty much turned on Kim and didn't really want her back on the show, which I was like, is that how we roll now? Is that how all of these black women who have solidified themselves in certain business adventures, Candy, professional businesses, Phaedra, entertainment business other than Real Housewives of Atlanta, Portia, and really Cynthia, because she's advertising her business, professional business with the modeling agency, as well as her going into some commercial business with selling products under her brand name, eyewear. So all these are professional women except for Sheree, because she has no chateau and she has no she by Sheree apparel. So we're just gonna deem her as a solidified housewife, pretty much trying to make it in the industry still, since she was thrown off. From the previous seasons with Kim Zodiac and all of that. She didn't get a spinoff show. She didn't get anything. So she's pretty much left in the dark, and she's trying to make her comeback. But I'm not here for, because she still has the same demeanor. I'm not here for none of them, really. I had some promise with Candy a little bit, but it seems like after she got married, her whole demeanor changed. She started going from, that boss chick trying to make things happen to uh, pretty much trying to feed into the stereotype that she was taking care of a man, and this, that, and the other, and doing anything to secure this man. And now she just seems like she's this bitter person, and then she may not be, don't get me wrong. It's that's the way it's coming off on TV, how she talks to people, how she stirs up trouble. And don't get me wrong, somebody got to make the mess, but we had Kenya for that, and she's been doing a fantastic job. We just need everybody to deflect when she starts acting up, but we didn't need everybody turning into really a monster, or a bully, or some type of person that you don't want your child to um, emulate or use in their mind as a role model. None of these women fit the bill, except for Kim Fields. Kim Fields said she knew what she was coming on the show for. She knew these women, all of them, were ratchet. They're professional in their own way and their own businesses, but all of them are ratchet. All of them stir up stuff, but they claim to have God in them. But they the first ones to be trying to bully somebody, gossip about somebody, try to bring somebody down, um, and just no woman empowerment going on the show. They say it and they feed into it, but their actions really don't display it, and that's from every last one of them on the show. And you would think they would have gotten better over time with what they're putting out on the Housewives, but no, they had summed it up to just have pure wretchedness, even with the women that are very much in the eyes of America, as well as in their prospective state, which is Georgia, and they're supposed to be being movers and shakers and being positive role models to just women in general, not just saying I'm be a positive role model to kids so they can look up to me and they can emulate my behavior on how I deal with people on an individual basis, whether it's in the business world or whether it's in the personal world where we're just interacting as human beings, mother and daughter, mother and son, whatever, just being a mother. But I don't know where it got lost. I don't know where everything just seems to be about me, or me and my family, or with no regard of how they're portraying themselves to be. It's mind boggling. It's and it's cliquish, and I don't like it. It's no uplifting. And what made me so mad about the show was basically Kim was there to try to do a new spin. We didn't ask them to change their behavior, but it's like they wanted to change her and who she was instead of learning from the lady. You know what I'm saying? She's giving you tips on how you should be acting and how you should be acting in the entertainment world. And Lord knows she's the oldest one on the show. If you want to count how y'all say receipts on who has lasted the longest in the entertainment field, then you should be paying homage to her. Okay? And her talents. But it's like, y'all, ah. And if I really were to put dollar signs on it and all of that, I think Kim would probably outsource all of them in the revenue department, even Candy. Because to me, she hadn't really done anything since Escape, and she started to use this platform. And really, they wanted Tiny on the show, which was T.I.'s wife. But, he pretty much made the decision for her that, and this just from reading it in rap type of magazines, as well as it being featured on the Rick Smiley show and B103. Tiny kind of put that bubble out there when she had her show going on with the kids, or the Family Hustle, and she was like she couldn't be doing too many shows, and she wanted to be shown in a positive light and not like a ratchet show. But she gave them a couple of names of who probably would be interested in it and that are not really doing anything. And Candy Burris's name came up, and she's been on the show ever since. So that was like, her friend pushing a bone to her, whether she wanted to take it or not, whether it was going to be a good move for her in her career. She didn't know, but she know it was brought to her door first, and she didn't want it. So that's how Candy got her comeuppance, and just a really hot mess that Candy really didn't do anything with it, but promote some sexual type of bed material that you can use to keep your sexuality in check and keep the bedroom spice when it comes to your man or your significant other. So, I mean that, and the music she's coming out with, even though she had said she didn't want to work with another cast member, this, that, and the other, and she had shaded Demetria in the past when Demetria had her one, one episode, not one episode, but one season with the Housewives of Atlanta. But again, they didn't really take to her. It just seemed like everybody that's old on the show, they just refused to even what you call it, give them a chance. If they ain't coming off real ratchet, or whatever, or they targeting either Candy or Nene, or Fade, the older cast members, then they ain't worth being on the show. They're not bringing anything. I'm like, well, damn, didn't y'all want to upgrade on some of the ratchetness and have a balance between good behavior and bad behavior, so we can see a mix of the two. Is that's what we have gotten? Were we just here for wretchedness? I mean, entertainment can be fun and it can be well received when you have a different spin that Kim was trying to bring to it. Like she was telling them she wanted to invite them to her house to get to know them a little bit more better, a little bit more intimate, even though we were going to be filming it. But she was trying to tell them, just come as you are when you're at home, in a sense, and you're not, you know, dressed up to the nines, or your face is not being on fleet and all of this. Just come, it's okay. I mean, Sheree did a wonderful job. She probably had some moisturizer on, but she came like plain Jane and she did it. She pulled it off real well. I love her natural features. And just because we have pimples, we have bumps, we have things that sunk in, we have dark spots, we are supposed to love all of that about ourselves and let our face breathe. Let us see you as you are. I mean, some can be a little questionable, and because they don't want makeup all their life, and yeah, they might need their makeup. But I didn't think it was something that's going to be detrimental to their career if they would have shot that one time, and it just be fully, maybe a little eyeliner or something if you just had to have something. But I mean, they're beautiful women still without all their makeup. But I guess they're so vain they can't see it. And Kim was just basically trying to show them that, look, we can be still powerful women. But right now we just taking a little breaky break. But it was not received by none of the women. Not really. Not even Sheree. And she came dressed, at the part. She had to throw some shade. And I was just really disappointed that they didn't gravitate to what Kim Fields was trying to bring to the show, which was a refresher, breath of fresh air. Someone trying to be godly, and someone trying to do the mommy thing in the right way, trying to have a balance to show, women can have a career as well as be, submissive to their husbands in very natural and normal ways. And just trying to see, have the family bond where you have the mother and the father there in the household. You have professional people in the household, but they're not displayed on TV as, you know, hoes and no good men and all of this stuff. So I was disappointed in Bravo, as well as the Housewives of Atlanta clan and the cast members. Oh, it was just terrible. But anyway, moving on. That was my soap opera spill of how y'all really know I feel about the whole issue. Because it didn't necessarily have to be Kim Fields. It could have been any other person, but had morals about themselves and how they wanted to be seen and shown on TV. Because we knew people, we know film production do edit here and there. You don't get the whole story of this, that, and the other. But every scene she played was on point. Every scene, so they couldn't really not edit or take something out. They couldn't add to it because she was just flawless every time. She wasn't gonna come out of pocket and out of character because she knew she ain't ready to retire. She don't have the coins to retire how she wants to retire. So she knows she has to stay elegant, classy, and professional because the higher entertainers and producers, they want to work with people like that. You don't want to be typecast as, okay, yeah, you had this spill or run with Housewives of Atlanta, but you didn't give us anything, you know, other than showing disrespect for your race, for your gender, just for who you are, period. You had no good points. And if they were few and far between. So, Kim wasn't messing up her brand to come and see if she could make a difference on this show. No, she stayed true to self and said she's the real winner out of all of them. And they've been over here 7 seasons and still ain't pulled up. So, just shut it down. Sean, shut it down, because I don't want to hit them dogs. And like I said, they showed some clips called the Shady Bunch, and it was, from different episodes and stuff. Different cast members getting reads on and stuff of that nature. I wasn't there for it. I ain't care about it. And then Andy was asking, out from all the clips that were shown, who gave the best shade, and everybody was like Phaedra, and who needs to work on their shading and this, that, and then of course they all pointed the finger at Kim. But Kim don't need to work on nothing. She already got it going on. She need to continue to do what she need to do. And she know how to get people straight. She do. She know how to get people straight the professional way and the adult way. Then the scene goes to where Phaedra and Kenya, they get into a little spat. Kenya is upset because Phaedra is picking at her skin, her breakouts or whatever. Kenya trying to get her straight, saying, she hating on black women, this, that, and the third. I wasn't here for it because they've been hating on each other forever. The whole cast have. Move on to Portia and Kenya. Portia's picking on Kenya about, all her lying and this, that, and the other, and calling her out on this, that, and the other. It wasn't relevant, so we moving on. They show some more clips with Candy and her hubby, and then they bring him out, which is Todd on the stage. He's sitting on the set, sitting by his wife on the sofa, and they're asking him questions about the restaurant, picking the nanny. That's just basically going through clips with them, and Andy's like, okay, so what's going on with the new found baby and fatherhood for another time around, this, that, and the other. And he's saying, he loves his son. He loves Candy for having a baby. Da 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 da. They let out, or Candy lets out, the Tucker Wells, or Ace Wells Tucker, have an Instagram page, but he don't have any pictures on it yet. But he has over 1 million followers. Like, what? And Andy was like, are y'all crazy? You at least put 1 million photographs up there of the baby or whatnot. But they're selling and getting money off of it, the baby pictures and stuff. So they already have a little magazine that's going to be covering and this, that, and the other. They only think about money. Self-lovers of money and all of this. And I hope they're putting it all back for their kids to partake of too, since they're pretty much, doing us our whip or whatever. Uh, then, they go on and talk about the restaurant, the old lady gangs participation in it and all that. And what Candy said, that they're pretty much going to have an opening of the restaurant around her birthday week. Moving on from there, how she, oh, and Annie goes to talk to Sheree about how she feels about coming back, being featured as a guest. But we know she's coming in to start some trouble, since it's pretty much had the writing on the wall, as you would say. Kim Fields is out. It will be a peach available for her to slide on into, or Nene, if they want to bring her back. So I don't know. They might be fighting over that one peach, and one of them just gonna have to still be the guest of someone who has a peach. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it's gonna play out. More than likely, they'll probably give Nene back the peach and have Sheree still cast it as a friend. You know, and we just see how they go. Because, like I said, they really need to do a recasting of everybody. I don't want to see Sheree. I don't want to see Nene. I don't want to see Candy. I don't want to see none of them. If I can't have my Kim on the show, who is only the reason why I tuned in and decided I wanted to do um, a reality show review, was because of her, if you must know the truth. But anyway, like I said, we move on. Andy goes to Kim, discussing the kids, asking her pretty much, was it a good fit? Or he did make a little dig on her, talking about, well, where the kids are tonight. Did you bring them with you? Because most of the time Kim was filming, she had her kids with her. So she told Andy no. She got tired of people talking about her on the show, about having her kids, and she didn't want to hear nobody's mouth about it. And I was like, all right, Kim Field, tell it, honey, tell it. But then nobody thought that was a good read, okay? But she knows she had thrown the bone at every one of their feeds on the show, uh, for trying to get on her about her children. Then, he was just going around doing a little poll, and they asked Kenya, did he think that Kim was a good fit? Then he went to Candy and asked her, what she felt, and how did she feel that Kim was a good fit. And he did the same question with Phaedra, Portia, Cynthia, and Sheree. And if Nene was out there, they all would have came to a collaborative no. Now, you done told this lady on this whole season, 8 that you got her back. But I didn't really hear Candy or Portia say anything to that nature. But we definitely heard Cynthia. We heard Phaedra. We heard Nene. Okay. The biggest allies on, this Housewives set. They said they had her back. And of course, we ain't talking about Kenya because Kenya was at her throat all the time. And Candy was pretty much obsolete because she was going through her whole baby thing, so we didn't see too much of her. But the rest of them that pretty much, caught themselves reading folks here and there, left and right, up and down, they said they had her back. They said that, she was one part of the team. They want to teach her how to read and how to solidify herself on the show. Now, every last one of them turned on them. I'm like, how that must have felt. I don't know. But like I said, Kim still got the last laugh on their behinds because originally coming to the cast, she was a wild card. But she even expressed, by having a conversation on the phone with her mother, Chip Fields. Chip Field had told her from the get go, no ma'am, don't destroy your already legacy, your professionalism for that ratchet show. Don't go on there. You don't need that. But Kim like a coin is a coin, and I'm gonna get this coin, and it'll be something new to experiment with. And I'm trying to be a well-rounded person, and I was here for all the way. So she already knew in her mind that they probably had told her they just wanted to see how things were going to work out, the dynamics that she was basically trying to bring. Since, I'm sure a lot of viewers that have been watching Housewives of Atlanta since day one, what they were listening to us in a way that we wanted something different. We wanted, to see less ratchetness, a little bit more upbringing, and foresting, good collaboration of black women on the show acting appropriately and wanting to see their sister elevate, even if the elevation is not at their doorstep, just to see them and be proud of them and support them. And so I think the whole spiel there was okay. Kim will be a good addition. She's gonna bring something different. Let's see how our the fans or the viewers are in acceptance of what she's gonna bring. So she was like the test rabbit, and I'm pretty sure she knew. And they probably said if she pulls it off, we're gonna give you another season. So I'm pretty, like I said, all the what do you call it, finalities were already put in paper and in stone. So it wasn't like Kim was blindsided. But it is what it is. She tried to do it, put a spin on it, and it didn't work in her favor. But like I said, she's still the real winner because she has something going on after this show. What do these women have? They had to go back to their careers of choice in the other avenues or business adventures that they were partaking of and used the show as a platform to pretty much advertise. But Kim, okay, all right. That's all I got to say. We can see who was the real winner of all of this. So there was nothing surprising about it. But to me, it was surprising that out of all of them turned on her when they said they were her friend. Her, I wouldn't say Ace Boo Coon, but they wanted her on the show and they wanted to see pretty much what she was going to bring. But while they were taping on the show, they made us have the perception that they were going to give her a chance and that they did see quality in her. But even Cynthia, uh, and I could go back and forth, but I just don't feel like it today. I have no energy to give towards stupidity. So, like they had a collaboration of no's. Kim was not a good fit. They ready to see her go bye bye, and that's it. So, and is still playing devil advocate running around now. So he asked Phaedra, he knew she had went to Washington to the Million Man's March and she was meeting all these political head figures up there and, rubbing noses with those type of people. And she noticed that she asked everybody else to go. And the new person, Kim Fields Morgan, but she didn't ask her Ace Boon Coon, Candy, or her other little friend, Cynthia. A little shade was thrown there. He wanted to know what was what. And then, of course, she was going to try to make a rational answer. by saying, "Oh, well, Cynthia was busy with her commercial line, and Candy was busy, listening to her physicians about what's the best thing for us traveling, this, that, and that." Then Candy just came out the woodwork, said, She said I couldn't travel out of the country. She didn't say nothing about the 50 states. She didn't say nothing about the 50 states. So that was like, whoa, okay, well, put it back in check. Then I'm all here for it. But like I said, we're gonna move on for that. We ain't got no time for that. Then Andy, Candy, and Phaedra, go to looking at past clips where they were friends. And, he's just pretty much trying to figure out, y'all had this little, camaraderie going on, and y'all was just like besties. And what happened? He just being messy. And then, Phaedra goes on. Well, I think Candace expresses herself that when, somebody go around talking about your man and monies and all this, that, and that, you tend to lose respect for him. And you just don't know how to take him. You don't know how to trust him. So you build up walls. And then Page was like, when folks telling you how to raise your kids after your husband done destroyed your world and he going to jail, and then you find out that your so-called friend was hiding apparel or materialistic stuff such as cars and what do you call it, motorcycles of that nature, vehicles that they wanted her to pay restitution to these folks that Apollo done called himself taken from. And then he has items over there that can be sold where she don't have to be coming out of her pocket for monies of that nature to help him out. So, it's almost like, our last episode, the feds was called to Cynthia's and Candy's house to retrieve items that Apollo was kind of trying to hide from the feds. But like I said, it was Candy and Todd fault from the beginning because, they went taping um in their garage and they happened to roll up on some of Apollo's stuff. And then Candy opened up her mouth saying, what Apollo stuff doing in here and why he had to come store it over here and this and that. What you think they're going to do? That was stupid. So I'm just going to move on from that because that's self-explanatory or ignorance. Um, But Candy was, pretty much trying to say she thought Phaedra knew about all this stuff, and just okay. So then it came to be about a big fuss where between it was Candy, Portia, and Phaedra. Phaedra brought up the idea that Candy's in a clique and she wants to be around them people more than Portia and her, and she was fine. She was okay with it. She don't care. She has enough friends to solidify her for a lifetime. So, then Candy was coming back out of throwing digs, saying, "Nah, we was talking about this incident that y'all was outside, cause Bravo had edited that part, but Don Juan was sitting up there saying y'all was talking about the what do you call it, the taping or video that Demetria and she was putting out, y'all were dogging it outside. And y'all was talking about a lot of personal issues that y'all had no knowledge of. Y'all wasn't getting the real tea. And with the editing that Bravo was doing, it was just really being shown as one side. But now y'all was talking too much junk outside, and that was just disgraceful. And he did. I ride hard for my people, and they ride hard for me. So yes, that's why y'all got dismissed. Like they want to say a little bit more. Then Portia went on out there and got her little feelings hurt. With how Phaedra was taking up for them and that and this and the other. And she was like, ain't about stand on one and all this, that, and the other. And she just got all in her feelings and got dogged before she stopped talking. She had said Don Juan was gay. I thought I would holler and fall out my seat. She was just really throwing some tea. I like, wait a minute now. Did she say what I just said? She said, I mean, I've always had that impression that Don Juan was gay. But since he didn't actually come out and put it on paper or for the viewers to know, I just reserved my opinion for it. But if Candy wrote so hard for her friends, if anybody's putting out false information, on my friend, I'm gonna be like, well, how the hell you know that? He ain't this, he ain't that. Yeah, I know him pretty, what I'm saying? She would have been down for the cause and trying to straighten out that misunderstanding. But she didn't come in defense of her friend. saying, no, he's not gay. I mean, it's in society now, and it never was in my eyes, something that you should have been scared to say in the first place. That's who you are. That's who you are. People that's rocking with you, they're gonna love you regardless. Or how society may inflict stuff on that said range of people and the way they want to live their life. But if your friends are straight and they down with you, they don't care. They just see you as who you are, and that's it. But Candy didn't come up there. She came up short. She didn't ride hard. And even if she, if it was true, she should have said, "Well, what business is that of yours? If that's what his preference is, hell, they got rights now. You know what I'm saying? They can come out say whatever they want to say, you know, and it'd be all right." So she could have said that, but she didn't say nothing. She just fell all the way back. And if I was done one, I feel some kind of way about that. I would. I really would. But it just is what it is on that little part. So we move on to Kenyan portion. Again, they just start going on, clean this fuss, carrying on, stuff. Then, King states that Portia was gonna run. No, Portia was gonna run over Kenya. Well, Candy's clique, pretty much. But we already know the spat between Kenya and Portia, and that's a whole big much mess. And then King was trying to make points about if Portia don't really have nothing to say, and she just need to put a dick in her mouth and keep quiet. And I was like, oh, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Vulgarity. And then you trying to have a child? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And so, Annie goes on to talk to Kenya about texting while they were doing a reality show. Now, how rude is that? That's ratchet and rude and unprofessional and shit. And then looking at her like, girl, do you know where you at? I'm finna read you now. If you don't put up that phone and act like you know where you at, which is, on TV live in front of all your so-called fans and other viewers tuning in, have some business about yourself, bitch. But anyway, he didn't say bitch, but I think that's what he wanted to say. But then, to reflect on her getting on him, she had to jump back on Kim. Kim ain't saying nothing to her. She probably snickered. But, she had to jump back on Kim. Talking about Kim should be biting the hand that feeds her. Um, I don't know what the dynamics was of how Kim Fields got on the show. I don't know. But Kim was trying to make like she brought her in. And she has done nothing but disrespect her and undermine her since she has been on her show. And for the last time I thought it was the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, it was a cast. It wasn't no front runner go to person since Nene had been dethroned. But someone had told her that and they ain't tell the other people, of course, that she was the eight spoon coon. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else missed that memo because they were even looking themselves at each other like, who told her she was the king of the castle, the queen of the castle, and the star of the show? Who told her that? But yeah, she just went on and went on and went on. Everybody like, mm-mm. Mm-mm. And then, like I said, Anna just pretty much let her make a fool of herself because she ain't no executive producer. I don't see her name scrolling when credits start to roll at the end of the show or even the beginning of the show. So, you know, she need to be cut, gone. I'm tired of her because that's all she got, and she just thinks she's it. Whew. But anyway, we move on to the scene where Andy talks about Kim and Cynthia, Kenya's friendship with Cynthia and how rude she was through the whole taping of the commercial and how she had got into her feelings because things didn't go her way. And then, of course, Kenya going to talk about all this issues about her house is being worked on. Well, baby, okay. First of all, we're talking about your coins. If you don't make your coins, you can't finish your house. Your job depends on you coming to work, doing what you need to do, taping. But you're talking about you had to be hanging out with your house. So that's just just tomfoolery going on, and she did not have a leg to stand on. And then he even just threw some shade in there. Was okay. What if it was Spike Lee? She said, "Oh, well, honey, if it was Spike Lee, I would have stopped everything I was doing." Da, da, da. So she pretty much told on herself. She basically was saying Cynthia wasn't worth shit. Her commercial wasn't worth shit. She's not gonna be making the gross income off her brand of eyewear. So it wasn't her. It wasn't okay. It wasn't on money really being involved. So she didn't give a shit about Cynthia or what Cynthia was trying to promote. That's pretty much what it was. And if Cynthia don't see her for what she is, then it is what it is. Nene treat her like shit, and now Portia's treating her like shit. So technically, she don't have no friends on the show. She probably could have had one in Kim Fields and a sincere friend at that off camera, meaning someone she could confide in and run the streets with, and know and know nothing would come from that by being one of Kim Fields' friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she could tell us a lot of dirt on Queen Latifah and other cast members she had been able to be around. But you heard her. Have not heard any rumors or anything that Kim is throwing out any time of nasty dirt on people. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the cast need to be recasted if they want to continue this show. They really do. Um, so that's pretty much it of that scene. Then Kenya was still trying to throw shade at Kim by saying, at least she can pay her bills. She's not in bankrupt. She's not doing this, and that. And Kim looking at her like, what rumors have you gotten, what rumors have you been digging in, honey? Because none of what you're saying is true. And I'm not even going to dignify with the answer or response. Okay. Answer and response is the same thing. Sorry about that, guys. But, Kenya has gotten too arrogant. She's gotten too above herself. And I'm even questioning whether she should have a baby or not. Because I'm like, I'm getting a tease like, is what her mother is like or was like? Um, because if it's giving me any indication that Kenya is gonna have that type of attitude towards her child or be degrading to her child in any kind of way, I'm not feeling this whole baby thing of her becoming a mother because we don't need nobody. We don't need a young Kenya coming out acting just like uh, the older version, the mommy version of Kenya. We don't need that. Kim, is still playing a little dumb to the acronyms of reading and all of this stuff because she didn't know what son means when you're trying to get somebody together and you're not feeling them. So they had to give her a little education on what son means. Um, like I said, Portia was the real, truly tea spiller. So, I definitely commend her for having something else to say than having a thought moment. So she gave me some little tea. I was here for that. But like I said, the Real Housewives Part 1 reunion was a little bit boring. Maybe they'll come with it on Part 2 next Sunday. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed my review. Found it somewhat comical because I thought it was pretty much comical, and I just wanted to turn off the TV because it kind of made me have mixed emotions. About how they can treat somebody as nice as Kim feels like dirt, and compare themselves to be a little higher upper than her. And I'm like, if you felt that she was thinking y'all were beneath her, it's because y'all are beneath her. When it comes to your professionalism and your personalities, y'all should take classes one-on-one with Kim Fields in that particular category. If your feelings got hurt, they should be hurt, and it should give you a reality check that you might be needing to turn in your resignation and let somebody else come on Real Housewives of Atlanta and renew the show. Because right now, it's looking pretty bleak. It is looking pretty bleak, and I hope they pull the plug or get some new cast members because all of y'all have already been on this show way long enough to have solidified yourselves with monetary gain to where I'm just sick of you. I'm sick of you. Okay, but that's all I got, people. You can rate, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And that's all I got, y'all. Have a good one. Good night. Till next time.